On behalf of Beyond Trust, SailPoint, Thales, and Carahsoft, we would like to welcome you to today's podcast, focused on improving national cybersecurity, government and industry collaboration for Zero Trust. We're Gerald Karen, Chief Information Officer and AIG for IT at the Department of Health and Human Services Office of the Inspector General, and Lawrence Hale, Director of IT Security Subcategory at the Office of Information Technology. We'll discuss how security solutions must work together when building a true Zero Trust architecture.
Thank you very much. This is Frank Virgilio from SailPoint. I'm the Global Public Sector Strategist here at SailPoint. Thank you, Carahsoft, and all of our partners here today, and welcome to our government panelists. I'd like to start off with Mr. Karen, so he can introduce himself, and then we'll go to Mr. Hale, and then Josh Broadbent and Eric, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Jerry, it's all yours.
Hey, thank you for having me. My name is Gerald Karen. I am the Chief Information Officer and Assistant Inspector General for IT within Department of Health and Human Services, Office of the Inspector General.
Mr. Hale?
I'm Larry Hale. I'm the Director of the IT Security Subcategory in GSA's Federal Acquisition Service in the IT Category Office.
Thank you, sir. Josh?
Hi, I'm Josh Broadbent. I am the Senior Security Director for Public Sector for Beyond Trust Software. I've been here for about 5 years and supporting the broader PAM solutions for 10 now.
And Eric?
Hi, I'm Eric Avigdor. I'm the Director of Product Management at Thales specifically for Identity and Access Management. Have been with the company for 16 years throughout different acquisitions.
Great. It's always my pleasure to have the opportunity to speak with our government and alliance partners. Today, we have a great discussion lined up around cybersecurity executive order released by the Biden administration back in May. There's some key takeaways and buzz from the EO. One being that Zero Trust initiatives across the federal government need to be accelerated to improve our cybersecurity. Also from the EO, which was kind of interesting, was the definition and classification of critical software. NIST and CISA, since came together and released guidance on this, and they defined critical software as software that has direct dependencies upon one or more components with at least the following attributes. And these are interesting, and this is kind of setting the stage for our conversation. It's software that's defined and run with elevated privileges to manage privileges. It has direct or privileged access to networking or computing resources. It's designed to control access to data or operational technology. And it performs a function critical to trust, or it operates outside the normal trust boundaries with privileged access. Now, this sounds all kind of familiar. We just heard Josh introduce himself from Beyond Trust. What's interesting about the list of what was defined as critical software is ICAM is at the top of this. And identity credentialing and access management is not only critical software, but it's critical to these other components that were listed, such as operating systems, container environments, endpoint security, network control and protection, monitoring and configuration, operational analysis, remote access and configuration management, and backup and recovery. So really, this is going to be a great tie-in to this conversation where we have 3 ICAM vendors here, along with Zero Trust experts from our government agencies. So, as we've seen, as we know, federal agencies have been making significant progress towards digital transformation, IT modernization, even before the pandemic, at a pretty good pace, as a matter of fact. And with the rapid adoption of new hybrid and cloud infrastructures, SaaS platforms, infrastructure as a service during the pandemic, we've opened our boundaries, obviously, to remote workforce and even new mission partners. We're introducing more risk. And we've seen from some of the significant breaches over the past, let's call it several years, but several months. When we look at the SolarWinds incident, we look at the pipeline incident, those are 2 big impactful breaches that probably affected most of us here today and every citizen for that matter.